Hey, let's talk baseball. Hot Stove League, old term.
There you go.
All of a sudden, the Philadelphia Phillies are the main player. I want Mike to kind of address that, but the Mets made the first big move in bringing in Cano. You're a Mets guy.
Well, it's not Cano. Yes, it's the Cano trade, but to me, this was all about Edwin Diaz, the closer they got from the Mariners. 57 saves last year, dominant reliever, and the best part, he's not even arbitration eligible for another year and a half. So they're going to control one of the better closers in the game for no money. So while they're absorbing a big contract, they got a guy at the back of the bullpen that'll save them significant money.
And a general manager who's taken a more aggressive approach than I think we've seen for the Mets in quite a while.
Every day I read about what's going on, and he's in on everybody, which means I think they're going to make a few more moves. But right now, Brian Cashman and the Yankees, you're not hearing a whole lot. The Mets and the Phillies, as Mike's going to talk about, in on everybody at this point. Can't be like that.
I like the fact of what the Mets are doing, and the Phillies are going to do is sort of what NBA teams have done. When you've got room, not necessarily cap room in baseball, but you've got room, you'll take on some of those deals to get a real asset. In the NBA, you'll see them take a bad contract to get a high draft pick or get a young player. The Phillies are in on everybody because they have so much money to spend, and their ownership group has it. I mean, the Phillies are a very productive team, at least at the box office and TV-wise, so they have money to spend. They've got a nice, decent young core, but they need some big pieces to go out and spend. So they're going to be in on it. They wanted Diaz too, and the Mets jumped in front of them and got him. So I think they were the kind of teams that might have even taken a guy like Cano too, if you're going to take a big contract.
But Harper,
spend money.
Machado, I mean, everybody in Philadelphia's name is attached to everybody.
Look, they were in it for a while last year, but their lineup lacked a real bat. And as much as Machado annoyed people in the playoffs and Harper struggled at times, they're both still relatively young guys who you know are going to put up numbers. They'll probably get one of them.
Well, the most interesting part about what's going on here is Seattle, right? What were they, 8 or 9 games over 500 last year? You know, there's been this pattern in professional sports where we'll tear it all down and start over again. But I cannot think of a team that's had a winning record that decided we're going to rip it all apart and try and start over. Because with a winning record, you can only tear down so much. So you're now adding a year or two to be able to bottom out, to get back to where you were before. And that's if you're lucky. Like the risk you're taking with your fan base right now, instead of building on what you have, is remarkable.
That, you know what, something Carl said, but with the Yankees, you don't hear a lot from them. I think that's when they're most dangerous.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a fair statement. But, I mean, come on, listen, with everyone that's coming up for free agency over the next couple of years, you know one of them is landing in the Bronx, right? It's just a matter of time before it happens.
Who do they get? Who do you see?
I really think Manny Machado may end up there, and I know Yankee fans are very lukewarm, Tim, for what you said. But let's face it, that guy's a great player, and if you plug him in at shortstop while Didi rehabs, you've upgraded a position that was already very good.
I think it's kind of funny. I love baseball. I'm a big baseball fan, but I think in some ways the off season is like as good as the in season to talk about these kind of things.
Seems like the Mets aren't out of it yet.
Yeah. And teams like the Yankees, when you make a bad move, it's hard to get out of it. And the Stanton move is looking like one of those that they probably wish they didn't make that move in terms of the money they're going to owe him.
Well, thank God they got a great manager in Aaron Boone who really knows how to handle situations like this.